Welcome to Tuesday Tea Time with Dorina. And I want to welcome all our first time viewers and those that will be watching the replay. We are presented from Women of Wisdom, which is a nonprofit organization here to empower teen girls and women with practical wisdom and confidence. We are here to bridge that generational gap between the younger and the older generation. Why? Because we need one another. All right. I'm getting ahead of myself on here. Okay, so I wanted to do a peppermint tea, and I don't have my peppermint tea. So anyway, I do hope that you have your beverages and that you fill your cup up today with lots of wisdom. How about that? All right, let me turn this up. Okay, so I was thinking, oh my goodness, Christmas is right around the corner. What are we going to touch on tonight? So I want to share with you, I just kind of felt, kind of like I needed to touch on this tonight. So our wisdom topic tonight is Christmas time, okay? And for some of us, that can be a time of, you know, joy and pleasant time with family and friends. And sometimes for others, it's a difficult time because maybe it might be the first year that you're doing Christmas without a loved one or somebody that was really close to you. And so Christmas should be a time of peace, but sometimes circumstances rob us from our peace. And I want to encourage you to remember the reason for the season, okay? And not get caught up in what, you know, let's not get caught up in what we don't have or what we cannot do. And remember this one thing that even in the center of a tornado, there is peace. So there could be a lot of things that's going on around you that can rob you from your peace or, make you feel like, you just don't have any. You can still choose to be at peace even in the midst of the storm. Don't get caught up in the commercial commercializing of Christmas, with uh, presents and things like that. Don't get caught up in all of those things because those things will rob you from your peace, especially when you feel like you can't meet, the expectations of others and your children, and you may not have the finances this Christmas to do certain things and things like that. Don't get caught up in all of those things, even though it may not be the way you want it to be. You can still find peace in something. Okay, so I just want to encourage you to not lose your peace. And if you feel like you have already lost it, you know, gain it back. Be at peace with where you're at. Be content with where you're at. And even under the stress of, spending Christmas alone or without somebody that was dear to you, remember, you know, all the good things and try not to focus too much on the loss. And you know what? It is okay if you need to have a cry or so because of it. So it's better for you to get it out than to hold it in. And so, saying that, I want to share with you uh, what happened on, you know, one of my Christmases. And so, sometimes, depending on if I allow my thoughts to go there, wow, Christmas could be ruined for me every year, but I just choose not to go there because there's other people in my life that I influence or, you know, and I want to make sure that I'm giving off the right vibes and helping others to do life correctly, even when situations are really bad. Okay, so saying all that, let me show you this first, and then we're gonna get into what I want to share with you. Okay, the gift of time and love are surely the basic ingredients of a truly Merry Christmas. This is by Peg Bracker. Okay, so I'm going to share with you uh, my Christmas drama. And oh my goodness. Okay, so most of you already know that, my mom passed away when I was 11 months. And my dad, I've shared this before, that my dad remarried when I was about 12 years old. So my brother helped raise us, my oldest brother. And so he was really close to me. And even when I got married, my brother gave me away at my marriage. So, it's like, wow, you know, he was almost like a dad to me. And so he had called Christmas, I think it was Christmas Eve or Christmas morning. I can't remember exactly what time it was. And I did not even know that he called. I didn't even find out until later that he had called and one of my sons had talked to him. Well, I thought that it was strange that I had not heard from my brother. And because that is so unnormal for him, because he contacts everybody, and wishes Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday, all that kind of stuff like that. And we usually stay in contact with each other. We hear from each other. If it wasn't every day, it was usually a few times a week. And so I hadn't heard from him a while, and I was thinking to myself, oh boy, I hope nothing has happened to him or anything like that. And I just felt like, okay, I need to go check on my brother. I need to find out what's going on. So when I went to go check on him, it was strange because his apartment door was open and I went in, and he was in the bed. And I thought, well, Arthur, I'm calling his name and everything, and he's not responding to me. And I'm thinking to myself, well, he probably just unconscious. That's what I'm thinking. So when I touched him, his body was still warm. And I'm thinking, okay, well, what's going on? Because the last thing I'm thinking was he's not here anymore. That's the last thing I'm thinking. And so I called 911 and they said, well, did you check his pulse? And I said, well, no, I didn't check his pulse. They're like, well, check his pulse. I checked his pulse and I couldn't find anything. And I about fell apart. Okay. I, you know, At that point, I knew my brother had passed away. Well, my brother passed away on Christmas. And so, and I was the one that found him dead. And so, I called my husband, and let him know. I called his kids and, uh, you know, called some of my kids and let them know what was going on. But I'm telling you, at the time that I found him, I about fell out, because I just, and all of a sudden, because, I believe because, I'm a Christian, the scripture came to me, the Lord is my shepherd, you shall not want. And believe me, that thing held me through that whole situation that I went through. And some of you that may have experienced the same thing, that you found a loved one that passed away or something like that, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And especially if it was somebody that was close to you. And so, Christmas, comes around every year. And so, the thought of finding my brother or even just losing my brother is something that is a reality. And so I definitely understand circumstances and situations trying to rob us from our peace during Christmas time. And so the thing that helps me is I remember, you know, the the times that I've had with him. Do I miss, of course I miss the times that I don't get to share with him anymore. And he was the one that, I could go to for counseling and things like that. And we just kind of conversate. And sometimes when you're talking with people that certain somebody, that wisdom and understanding just starts, you know, like revelation, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, I have somebody on here. Let's see, my father passed away on Halloween. Okay, so you already know what I'm talking about. Yep. So, you know, during these holiday seasons and stuff like that, when you experience losing a loved one, you know, the best thing we can do is think about the good times that we've had with them. And I'll tell you another thing too, is that we have to remember that there are other loved ones in our lives that still need us. And how we handle situations and circumstances will help them to know how to handle circumstances and situations, and not just allow your thoughts to just, be all over the place and everything. And if you uh spending Christmas by yourself, or you don't have family, or something like that, you know what? Break the monotony and find a good book, do a Christmas movie marathon. Do something different than what you normally do. Don't sit around and let your thoughts, control you in a negative way. Try to find something that will occupy your time, something that will cause you joy, something that you like to do, even if you're in a situation where you spend Christmas by yourself. So be encouraged to allow the season to be a peaceful time for you. This is a time where a lot of people really struggle, and people are taking their lives and things like that. Don't let your peace be stolen and cause you depression, and bury yourself under the bed or the pillow or the cover, but break that. monotony and find something new and inspiring to do. All right? You can do it. I have faith in you. You can do it. Okay? So remember this, the gift of time. Christmas is the gift of time and love, and surely the basic ingredients of a truly Merry Christmas. Okay? So give time for yourself if you have to spend Christmas alone. And let me say this because this keeps coming to me, and I'm not sure who this is for, but I know it is for somebody. But you know what? Don't get caught up in what you can't buy for your children. Don't get caught up in what you can't buy for your spouse or your mom or dad or whoever it is. Don't get caught up in that because you know what? I know as a mother, it's not about the gifts. It's about the relationship. It's about the love. It's about, just spending that quality time with one another. Like a lot of times I'll tell, my kids, and my love language is gifts. I love gifts, you know, but, that doesn't control me. My emotions, I'm not going to fall all apart because I don't get something, but and so or being able to give something because usually whatever your love language is you like to do, and I like to give gifts. And so even if I'm unable to do something, listen here, I got 21 grandchildren, okay? So you can imagine what that would be like at Christmas time. And you know what? Sometimes, we decide to do stuff for our kids, and sometimes we decide to do something for our grandkids. But whichever way we decide to do Christmas, we're going to follow after peace, whether we're able to do something or not do something. Because the reason for this season is not all about what we can give or what we can't, what we can do or not do, but it's all about uh what's been given to us. We've been given life. Christmas is about Christ. That's what Christmas is all about. Christmas is about the greatest gift that's been given to us, and that's Christ. And so if it had not been for that gift, you know I mean, what will we have? He says, yep, Jesus, yep, the reason for the season. Okay, so don't get caught up in all that other stuff. Enjoy your Christmas and have peace. Have peace. Even if you are unable to give and no one gives anything to you, have peace because you have life, okay? And you still can hug somebody, you can still, say things to somebody. There's somebody that you still have in your life, okay? So don't get caught up and all that other stuff. And I want to say this too for those that have recently lost somebody. Like I said before, if you need to go cry about it, okay? Get the cry out. You are still going through the grieving process, and that is okay. I mean, some people may think, well, that happened, 5 or 6 months ago. You should be over that. You know, everybody has an opinion about something, and some things take longer for some people than it do for others. And so just, follow what's in your heart and don't get caught up in the opinions of what everybody else say. That too, will come to pass. The pain of losing someone, it will come to pass, and keep the memories, of that person before you, but that separation is what I'm talking about. The pain of separation, it will not be as hard as time progresses. Okay. But don't let your thoughts and your mind cause you more trouble and trauma than what's necessary, because our thoughts can do that. And it took a good while for me to go through that process of losing my brother, especially the fact of losing him on Christmas, you know, and but you know what? My husband helped me walk through that and get through that, and my children and everything helped me to get through that. And sometimes you don't need to go through that by yourself. Some people maybe you can, but you know, if you need help, get help. And don't be ashamed that you have to have help, because that's okay. What's not okay is when you need it and you don't get it. You don't seek it out. Then that's a problem. But it's okay if you need help getting through situations. You should not go through things by yourself if you don't have to. And you know what? That takes us back to what Women of Wisdom is all about. We are all about mentoring and educating and helping you to walk through circumstances and situation, because we really need to bridge that generational gap between the older and the younger generation and learn how to appreciate each other no matter how old we are, because that's important, of having uh, the mutual respect for one another, and understanding one another. Well, how are we going to do that if we don't want to be around each other, or we uh, assume or are presumptuous about people? There's a whole lot that you can learn about other people, and you can learn about yourself when you are around other people. And so we need that. That's the reason why there's so many people on this earth in this first place, because we are not to be a lone ranger. We're not to be a hermit and be off by ourselves. We need people. We need to touch one another. We need to be in each other's presence. Zoom, yeah, FaceTime, yeah, but it does not take the place of being in each other's presence. There is something special about that. Okay. So we need each other, and that's the bottom line. Okay. So I just wanted to share with you that whatever you're going through this Christmas, don't let it rob you from your peace, and don't get caught up in the commercializing of Christmas. Don't get caught up in what you can't or cannot do, or cannot, where you cannot go, or anything like that. Be thankful that you have breath. Be thankful. Make a list of the things that you can be thankful for. Even if there's somebody that you lost, be thankful for the time that you got to spend with them. Okay. So find something to be thankful about. And when you find something to be thankful about, you can find peace in that. And that will help you not get caught up in allowing your peace to be robbed and stolen from you. Okay. Okay. So this is Tuesday Tea Time with Dorena. I'm so thankful that you joined me tonight. And I want to say to you, Merry Christmas, and enjoy your time with you and with others, no matter how you decide to spend your Christmas. Okay. Don't forget the reason for the season. Okay. This is Dorina. I'm out. And remember, walk in wisdom. All right. Good night.